Hey, what's going on, guys? So just going to be another short video, still talking about the whole California fire situation. So as you know, they're saying that some of the fire hydrants, if not all the fire hydrants, are running out of water. Like, what's going on with the water reservoir? So I found this video on YouTube. It's like, it's one of these AI channels. I've seen it before, but they put up a short video that seems to describe why the fire hydrants ran out of water. If it's true, I don't know yet, but I just thought it'd be something interesting to watch. Let's just see if it makes sense. And then later on, whenever I get a chance to like react to like, I guess some more mainstream news content regarding the whole fire hydrant situation, the water reservoir situation, I can get to that. But I'm just curious as to what happened in this. They usually give like quick, you know, like animated explanations of situations and technology and whatnot. So anyway, let's just see what they have to say. Let's see if it makes sense.
In the middle of a firefight, that's the big question everyone's asking.
Yeah, how?
Of course, the blame game has already started, but as an engineering channel, we're here to dig into the facts. We'll explain how this system works and why it failed, leaving the hydrant dry in just a couple of hours. There are a few key issues.
Did it fail?
One is that the water pressure dropped after just 40 minutes because of how much water was being used. Another big problem? The reservoir in Pacific Palisades was empty when it was needed the most, possibly due to ongoing repairs. More details all in the video ahead. Before we discuss why the hydrant went dry, let's first understand the basic engineering of how it works. Although fire hydrants may appear simple on the surface, their functionality depends on a complex system hidden below ground. The structure begins with a concrete support base, which provides stability for the joint restraining gland. This gland secures the connection between the hydrant and its branch pipe, ensuring durability and resistance to pressure. The hydrant branch is then connected to a gate valve, which regulates the flow of water. This valve is enclosed by a valve box capped with a lid for accessibility. At the core of the system is the main supply line, which links the hydrant to a water tank or reservoir. These wet hydrants rely entirely on the main water supply and are interconnected with hundreds of other hydrants throughout the network. During a fire, multiple hydrants may draw from the same water supply simultaneously. While this interconnected design ensures wide coverage, it also means that high demand can overwhelm the system, leading to reduced pressure or even a complete loss of water flow. Understanding this engineering highlights the importance of maintaining robust water supply systems to support effective firefighting operations. The water system faced
So basically too much demand, not a lot of supply of water. That's initially what he's saying right there.
unprecedented pressure,
Essentially what he's saying.
experiencing 4 times its normal demand during the California fire. In just a 40-minute period, emergency services called for 40 strike teams of engines, equating to approximately 200 fire engines. To put this into perspective, these 200 engines were simultaneously connected to fire hydrants, all attempting to draw water from the same system at the same time. However, the water pipes are only designed to accommodate a limited flow. An additional issue arises when hydrants are located in uphill areas. These systems rely heavily on water tanks to provide enough pressure to push water through pipes to both homes and fire hydrants in elevated locations. When water levels in these tanks drop too low, the system loses the ability to maintain sufficient pressure. Without this necessary pressure, hydrants in uphill areas become non-functional, further hampering firefighting operations and leaving critical areas vulnerable. We'll take a look at what causes the dry functioning hydrants. This likely impaired the effort to protect some homes and evacuation corridors due to a lack of water supply. One of the main reasons the water hydrant could not pump water was when the fire broke out in Pacific Palisades. A nearby DWP reservoir was also out of commission and empty for repairs. This large reservoir in Pacific Palisades that is part of the Los Angeles water supply system was out of commission when a ferocious wildfire destroyed thousands of homes and other structures nearby.
Wow.
But officials said that the Santa Ynez Reservoir had been closed since about February for repairs to its cover, leaving a 117
Since February? Since of last year? Like, come on, guys.
million-gallon water storage complex empty in the heart of the Palisades for nearly a year.
Wow.
Here are the before and after images, which show the extent of damage to properties in Los Angeles. This particular image is from the Altadena neighborhood, where the Eaton fire occurred. Using infrared cameras from Maxar, we can clearly see the fires raging on the ground. Moving on, these are additional before and after images, also from the Altadena area. The orange glow in these images indicates active fires burning at the time. In fact, many of the raging fires started Tuesday, fueled by strong Santa Ana winds that were of the strength of a hurricane, gusting over 70 miles per hour, which translates to 112 kilometers per hour in some areas. This is the Palisades Fire. It began at 10:30 a.m. local time on Tuesday, January 7, 2025. This image, captured just 15 minutes after the fire was first reported,
Yes, we're 4
already
days
shows
into
its
this.
intensity
Yeah.
from the
Going
sky.
into the 5th day.
The fire quickly ballooned throughout the afternoon, raging between the beach towns of Santa Monica and Malibu. By midnight, it had consumed nearly 3,000 acres, destroying numerous buildings and homes, so many, in fact, that officials are still struggling to determine the full extent of the damage. The cause of the fires has not yet been identified. However, what we do know is that they have been supercharged by fierce, dry winds blowing in from the northeast. These winds, known as the Santa Ana winds, accelerate as they hit the mountainous terrain around Los Angeles. This can be seen in the striking bands of pink and purple on weather maps, indicating the areas affected by these devil winds. The Santa Ana winds also drastically reduce humidity levels, drying out the land and making it more flammable. With wind speeds reaching up to 60 miles per hour, these conditions are so extreme that firefighting planes have been unable to take off. Fire chiefs describe the combination of low humidity, dry soil, and strong winds as creating some of the worst fire conditions imaginable.
Yeah, so okay, so again, this is true. Like, but why in the world, if this has been going on for so long in California, like this is not new, why, one, did they cut the budget? Two, why are they not clearing the brush? Like that should be their main that should be one of their main priorities every year. Well, not even every year, it should be ongoing. It should never stop. Clear brush. Always clear brush. You got a bunch of dry brush everywhere and they just stopped clearing it essentially. Or maybe not stopped entirely, but come on, man, that's stupid.
Southern California recently experienced an exceptionally hot summer with almost no rainfall during what should now be the wet season.
Perfect
This
storm.
map illustrates the rainfall of the past 60 days compared to the average for this period. The brown areas around Los Angeles highlight regions that have received virtually no rain, leaving the land parched and highly flammable. This combination of factors has created a dire situation for thousands of Los Angeles residents, many of whom have been forced to flee their homes. These homes, often belonging to the rich and famous, have been reduced to ashes in mere hours. This is the grim reality faced by Californians as they grapple with an increasingly severe and prolonged wildfire season. 7 fires are currently being tackled in California. The Palisades Fire was first reported at 10:30 a.m. 1830 Greenwich Mean Time on Tuesday, January 7th. Within just 20 minutes, it grew from a 20-acre blaze to more than 200 acres. By Wednesday night, the fire had expanded to approximately 16,000 acres. At least 30,000 people have been ordered to evacuate their homes. The Eaton fire rapidly grew to cover 1,000 acres within the first 6 hours after breaking out.
So you see that?
It started
How
to
did,
now cover
how did
1
the fire
people have been
go
ordered
from
to evacuate their
Palisades to-
homes. The Eaton fire rapidly grew to cover 1
Yeah, like I don't know the distance on that, but based on that animation, the
1,000
Santa Ana winds go from, what is it, north to northwest or northeast. So how did it go from Palisades northeast to, what is this, Eaton? How did that happen? Like I don't look, is it that, I'm not saying it's impossible, but like if the winds are a contributing factor, did a spark catch the wind and go against these strong devil winds or whatever? I don't know. Maybe it's all, again, just a perfect storm and it just happened. I don't know.
acres within the first 6 hours after breaking out. It started in Altadena in the hills above Pasadena at around 6:30 p.m. local time on Tuesday. By Wednesday night, the fire had spread to over 10,000 acres and 5 fatalities had been reported. The Hearst fire began burning just north of San Fernando at around 10:10 p.m. local time on Tuesday. It quickly grew to 850 acres, according to local officials, and has triggered evacuation orders in neighboring Santa Clarita. The Woodley fire broke out in Woodley Park at approximately 6:15 a.m. local time on Wednesday.
Maybe the fire was further north. They saying these fires broke out in this order, in this time frame, but maybe it was just so small further north that it really didn't no one noticed it, you know? And maybe those sparks were the sparks that actually sparked the fires further south. You know, it caught the wind and made it further south. I don't know. It just seems strange to me. I don't know.
According to the Los Angeles Fire Department, it has now been fully contained. The Olivas fire erupted in Ventura County, northwest of Los Angeles, and burned across about 11 acres. It has also been fully contained. The Lilia fire ignited around 2 o'clock p.m. on Wednesday in the mountainous Acton area north of Los Angeles. It grew to cover nearly 350 acres, and as of 9 o'clock p.m., had been 40% contained. The Sunset Fire broke out at approximately 6 o'clock p.m. in the Hollywood Hills, a residential neighborhood overlooking the historic Hollywood area. It currently spans about 50 acres and is 0% contained. A mandatory evacuation order remains in place. But there were also significant funding issues that may have hampered the firefighting efforts. A potentially leaked letter from LA Fire Chief Kristen Crowley, dated December 17, 2024, warned Mayor Karen Bass about the repercussions of recent budget cuts. According to the letter, the $17 million reduction in the department's budget had severely limited the department's capacity to prepare for, train for, and respond to large-scale emergencies, including wildfires.
Why did they cut it?
This warning highlights the critical role that sufficient funding plays in maintaining readiness for natural disasters and other emergencies. The letter raises important questions about the impact of financial decisions on public safety, especially in a state like California, which is prone to wildfires. We make original videos from scratch.
All right, cool. What's this? How the California fire started. All right, maybe that's another one I'll check out. But so the original video was I wanted to just understand how the fire hydrants ran out of water. I mean, he pretty much explained it. It was short and sweet. But they also included a timeline. I have to believe it's accurate of how the fires, well, when the fire started. If the Santa Ana winds are coming from north, going southwest, and there's another band going southeast, how in the world did the fire start from the south and then go north? Like, I don't know. I mean, only time will tell. It's possible. It definitely is possible, but it seems strange. That's all I'm gonna say. And yeah, there were budget cuts. Yeah, they weren't doing their jobs, to be honest. But this is a horrible situation, and there's obviously gonna be political ramifications for it, and social ramifications as well. I don't know what this means, but follow the money. That's all I'm gonna say. After this all blows over, follow the money. Let's just see what happens. So anyway, I'm out. Take it easy.